Hi guys, welcome back to Canary Cast. Happy New Year from Harvey, Jacob and myself. Let's hope 2021 is a bit better than 2020. So he says, we shall see. Jacob, I haven't seen you for a while. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, mate, not too bad. I'll be a lot more happy when we keep Emi Buendia. Maybe the first, fingers crossed.
I'm crossing everything. We are here to talk about Emi Buendia, of course. There are plenty of rumours linking him to Arsenal and elsewhere. I'm sure there'll be more to come in the coming weeks. So we thought we'd do a bit of a profile on him, what sort of player Arsenal or ex-club are getting, that sort of thing. So we'll crack straight on. There's plenty of hype around him. For my money, he's the best in the Championship. I don't think there's a Premier League team or indeed a team in Europe that wouldn't benefit from him. He is that good for my money. In your opinion, just how good is Emi Buendia?
Well, you've absolutely bigged him up there, so I can't do anything other than just agree with you. Yeah, he's a fantastic player, and considering we got him for an initial 1.5 million, probably risen to about 5, it's an absolute bargain. He'll go for a lot more than that. Yeah, he's a wonderful, wonderful footballer. Like you said, I don't think anyone in that Premier League would not do with him. Like, I think he'd improve any team there, really. His creative stats are, well, everyone has seen them, haven't they? You know, by far the top of the Championship, 50 plus as we're recording this. Could easily go on to get 100 if he plays every single game, which is incredible thinking about it. Last season was in the top 5 in Europe, top 4 in the Premier League, everything like that. He is a wonderful, wonderful footballer.
He certainly is. And it's not just going forward. Like, let's not forget his defensive work rate for a start, but we didn't win without him for what, best part of a year initially when he first joined?
Well, we've only had that's two seasons, mate. We didn't win a single game without him in the side.
So it's the
We've
Huddersfield
won
game.
one. We've won a solitary game
Yeah.
without him in what 2.5 seasons now, which kind of shows his worth to the team really. And like you say about his defensive work, no one really beats the amount he goes around the pitch. I think if you tracked his heat map and the amount of distance he covers, no one else is coming near him. Which is whoever does eventually buy him, because he will eventually leave us, unfortunately, will kind of be surprised by it. It's like, wow, this player, like we've had James Maddison ourselves, we kind of circled in that number 10 area and was fantastic, wasn't he, when he got on that half turn. But Buendia is a different level because he just tracks back he wins the ball fantastically from the right back position. He'll go everywhere to find the ball, and he is just such a pain to be able to try and mark. He's very, and I think he's developed his game a little more this season. I don't know if he could play in that number 8 role, just kind of sitting. I don't think he's disciplined enough, but I think he's kind of shown this season that he can play or come deeper and dictate play, because probably before that he had to dribble past a few and then pass the ball. Yeah. Whereas in this division, and potentially in the Premier League, as he develops his game and plays with better players, he could potentially play that role as well.
You've mentioned a few there. I want to talk about pros and cons. So let's do the pros first, and then we'll go on to cons, because there are maybe a couple. But let's start with pros. Obviously, the amount of chances he creates he's an anomaly. Like, it is a ridiculous amount of chances that he creates, and you think, well, we've already mentioned it. The amount of games we won without him in there creating those key chances is so important for us.
Yeah, in our system, no one can replace it. Let's be honest. We don't look the same team. We struggle without him. The chances we create are night and day, is it? When he's in the team, when he's not. He's kind of a player that just drifts around the pitch, isn't he? He starts in that right-hand side. I think a lot of Arsenal fans will be watching this wondering where does he actually play. He plays on that right-hand side of 3 normally, but he never stays there. He's not a traditional winger. He'll always drift in. You'll see him in the middle. You see him on the left. You'll see him just drifting around wherever he can to get the ball. And yeah, but he does maintain that, doesn't he? He can go and support the right back when another team's attacking, which sometimes goes against him. We'll go against his negatives later. But his main positive is that he can be anywhere on the pitch, and he's happy to go win that ball back.
He is. One thing that I think we were both shocked that he didn't go in the summer, to be honest. But I think one of the things holding him back last summer was the fact that he didn't net that many goals in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Now, he does a fairly good job of that in the Championship. Do you think he's at the level yet where he can influence games in terms of goals in the Premier League?
Yeah, his finishing is still a question mark. So I think he's got 6 this season. Only 1 last season, which was a shame because he had chances to easily get more than that. 8 the season before. I'd like to see double figures from him this season to show me that he has improved that finishing. He is sometimes rash when he gets into those areas. He does shoot at the keeper quite a lot, but he has improved that this season. You've got to look at his finishes, and he looks more confident. I think it's still a part of his game he needs to definitely work on, because his choice of power at times is not correct, is it? Like sometimes it'll be a weak, tame effort from a long range shot, and then vice versa when he's close in. So it's definitely something he can improve on. But the chances he creates for a top quality striker, Timu Puki is top at championship level and probably a good medium to low Premier League finisher. If you're thinking of Bamiyang, Jesus, imagine if he's setting him up time after time. That could be a deadly partnership.
Absolutely. I think the only other question mark around his game is probably his discipline. There's no doubt he works hard, he covers the yards, he does his defensive work well, but there are occasions, maybe a couple of times a game, where he loses his rag a bit, he's in the ref's ear, he picks up a yellow, that sort of stuff.
Yes, when Emi Buendia gets tackled, there's a lot of flailing arms, a lot of moaning, and he will kind of be down on the pitch longer than he needs to be. But when needed, when there is a dangerous attack, he'll be back there. You can guarantee that. Yes, he does give away a few silly fouls. Probably if there's a few rough edges that you need to clean out. But to be fair, for the money you're going to get and the chances he's creating the other way, what we normally say is one bad Emi Buendia thing is normally replaced by 2, 3, 4 amazing Emi Buendia things. So with again better players that probably and better coaching that will teach him that way. It's that Argentinian flair that he has. You know, a lot of kind of South American players have it, don't they? From kind of street football, and that is how he plays. I think plays like he is still on the street, doesn't he? You know, he's got that flair to be able to beat 4 or 5 players easily. Sometimes he takes on one too many and then gets frustrated at himself. But all in all, it's a wonderful cocktail of a fascinating footballer, really, isn't it? He's just wonderful to watch, and there's so many kind of pros and cons, like you say, just in one game that you're like, you could watch him for 90 minutes on his own and still be satisfied with paying good money.
Yeah, in terms of cons, I think we have covered it. That is pretty much it. I can't think of anything else. I actually think he's a world-class player, in all honesty, and somehow he's playing in the Championship, which is absolutely ridiculous. Let's talk money briefly, because the rumours, which we don't believe for a second, by the way, that Norwich would be happy with 15 to 18.
Which leg do you want for that?
Yeah, lads, forget it. It is not
going
to happen. Supposedly that's a misquote of Stuart Webber, our sporting director, saying, "I suppose we accept anywhere between 50 and 80 million." I haven't been able to confirm that, so I'm not sure. Take it with a pinch of salt. I think that was probably said in jest, if it was said at all. But 18 million, I mean, double it. That's still not going to be enough, Jacob.
We had Ben Godfrey for a season and a half at centre back, and he went for 25 million to Everton. Emi Buendia and we replaced him before he even went with a better centre back.
Yeah.
You are not getting Emi Buendia. If he goes for anything less than 30, Stuart Webber must be drunk or something. Like it's just not going to happen. I would say, and for the value for us as well, for Norwich City, he is by far the most important player in my opinion. If you're looking at less than 40, I know it's silly. We're saying huge numbers, like Ollie Watkins went for 33 million to Aston Villa, and he was big for Brentford, but again, they've replaced him with Ivan Toney. I'm thinking 40 million because he is that important. Mm-hmm. And look at Arsenal's position, you know, they need him. Like you say, he fits into their team. He's not a player that will go and kind of play in the under 23s. That player is ready now to play in the Premier League 100%. The only problem is he kicks up a fuss, which he did a little bit in the summer. That could be the only way that I could see potential Webber goes. But then we're in those places where you think, Emi, get us to the end of the season, get us promoted. Because to be fair, he is the difference between automatics and playoffs.
Yeah. Personally, I think I agree with you, 40 million minimum. But I think about, if you say 50 million, someone puts 50 million on the table. All right, Arsenal might not do that, but this guy's good enough to go to Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, whoever you like. Someone should pay the 50 million. I think we should hold out personally. The other thing I want to speak about from a Norwich perspective is Stuart Webber within his rights to say, look, Emi, we're clear at the top of the table. All right, it's only 3 or 4 points now, a couple of points. But see where we are at the end of the season. You could well be a Premier League player next year anyway. All right, if he does move, he's going to get a massive wage hike. But I think Stuart Webber is within his rights to be like, Emi, chill out, wait till the summer.
Promotion bonus as well, you know, give him that kind of incentive. But Arsenal are a huge club. It will be difficult for him to be like, he'll see the rumours. Everyone's seen the rumours, like you say. And for them, it's a bargain. Because if you go for an hour from Leon, then you're talking 70, 80 million, which we're not going to hold out for. It's not going to go that much. But in the long-term investment, if you spend 40 million on Emi Buendia, it sounds a lot. You look at his stats, it's not a lot. Because he will go and probably increase that value even more. Like you say, could then take that further step up to a huge club in terms of Barcelona, Real Madrid. I could see that happening. It's all up to him, isn't it? He has got that ability to be able to go there. We said the same with James Maddison, didn't we? Who could also go up to that next step. Well, he has with Leicester. He's playing Europa League football. They could easily get Champions League football. Emi Buendia is definitely on that level.
Interestingly, just quickly, James Maddison now, not when he left Norwich, now, and Emi Buendia now, who's better? I honestly think it's Buendia. Seriously, he's that good. If you're watching this and your club is rumoured with Emi Buendia, believe the hype. He is that good.
He is that good. I'd say the only thing is he has the flaws of the petulance, which he does need to care about, which is the only. But then with that negative, like we were saying earlier in the video, you get that many positives. If he goes into that Arsenal side, he boosts them a good few places, absolutely no doubt. If they're getting excited about Emile Smith-Rowe, who I think is a good footballer, oh my God, wait till we see Emi Buendia. Like that, if he gets into it and really kind of aligns himself with the culture, the football that Arteta wants to play, and just kind of gets that wavelength with which he will do with Aubameyang, who runs in behind. His runs are genius. That's what Timo Pukki does, and Aubameyang's about 10 times the pace. If Buendia he feeds you so many times. We scored 26 goals last season or something very poor like that, and he still created the top 4 in the Premier League. Think about what he could do with better players. It's worrying for any other team. If he really gets going, it could be He's an incredible footballer, and for 40 million, a bargain in the long run.
Okay, let's wrap up on Buendia with the last question. Do you think he'll be here come February?
I'm very hopeful. I think so. I think there will be. I think we personally won't see the best of him in January because his head will be thinking, should I move? Should I not? I think it helps that we're in the position we are now. We weren't in the top 6. I'd say he's off. See you later. He's gone.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
But with Arsenal's position at the moment, like I say, I know they're a huge club. Anyone will be attracted to go there from where we are to where they are. They're struggling just a little bit too much for my liking at the moment. It seems a little bit hectic and unsure. Yeah, the team selection and all that sort of thing. It just doesn't. Arteta doesn't know his best team. Does Emi Buendia really want to go there, or does he want to wait till the summer, where I think he will and go? Yeah. He can go anywhere. It's his choice, I'd say.
Yeah, I personally think wait till the summer, Emi. The world is your oyster. Help us get up first, and then you can say you gave it your all and go where you like, and we will happily, wish you well in that. But yeah, that's what I think will happen. Just one last thing before we finish. The football Twitterati seem to think that Norwich City is this like bargain basement where you can just go and pick up really, really good young players for a bargain price. And I'm sick of it. I know you are too. Let's talk about it for a bit. Like 18 million for Buendia, and then we had that Desiree offer for Jamal Lewis back in the summer. Like, lads, get over yourselves. Like, you're gonna have to pay the money for these players.
I think Stuart Webber looks at this and laughs, mate, because like you say, if you're not going to be serious, we won't play with you. We won't play this kind of game with you. Like Everton came in with the money for Ben Godfrey, good money. He went straight away. Yeah. Jamal Lewis, Newcastle, eventually got there, like you say, poor from Liverpool. Bin them off. Don't care. If Arsenal come in with a silly 15 million offer, see you later. You won't get it. It's as simple as that. And like you say, Norwich are definitely not an easy club to deal with. Stuart Webber is a very clever man who knows the worth, and Emi Buendia is the crown. He is the crown in the big 5 we had of players. He will be gone for the most amount of money, absolutely no doubt.
Born on Christmas Day as well, so it obviously is the second coming of Jesus Christ. So yeah, Arsenal fans or whatever club fans are being linked with him at this point. Believe the hype, he is worth the money, but we will not be discussing any sort of sale until probably 40, 50 million is put on the table. But we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Again, have a great new year. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers.